Okay, welcome, divas and dudes. This is Powerhouse Bakery, and we are doing I think, a really interesting interactive today. So often we talk about how to eat healthy, and we talk so much about cooking at home, but the reality is sometimes we want to eat out. So what I wanted to do today was sort of peruse some of the new ways of getting information on the internet with menus. And I kind of got this idea because not long ago, one of the dudes asked me to do some research. He was having a very special 20th anniversary. He and his wife are going to eat downtown. And so I was so lucky to be able to talk with the chefs of these different restaurants and really help them customize the menu, which of course is a rarity, right? That the chef's willing, and two, that you have an advocate that can go in there and say, look, we don't want any sugar, we don't want any this, that, and the other thing. And right, but it was really a neat experience for me to realize that how does the discerning customer make good choices? So I started looking through some of the website menus, and I came across a few that I thought would be kind of interesting for us to get to peruse. And so what you're finding up here on the screen is a couple of interactions. So we're going to look at the Cheesecake Factory, which is a chain. And so you're going to see they've spent some money on this interaction to be able to let you see nutrition information. You get to customize your menu, and you get to do a lot of behind the scenes work if you are so interested. And then you're going to see that they have a little read between the lines, or no, actually I'm sorry, it's called more fine print. Here we go, our fine print, if you can see that. Read more, and for allergy information. So I think they do a good job trying to give you the information. They also don't want you to look too deep, I'm going to guess, because they really make you work for it. But it's really impressive. And then we're also going to look at the Texas Roadhouse, which is another kind of typical Texas place. It also is a chain. So they have also done a fantastic job. And in this one, they compare their menu with the nutrition facts label. So it kind of helps us see compared to our percent daily value. And it really puts into perspective what kinds of how our choices really line up against the RDA, so the recommended daily intake of certain items. So I think that one will be fun. And then I also picked up one that is a little more traditional. Anybody recognize this menu? If I scroll a little bit, it's in Spanish. Let me enlarge it. Here we've got a beautiful variety of tacos and platillos. No, good guess though. Enchiladas. Look familiar? Anybody eat here? La Fogata. Yes, good guess. So, right, it's been a while. So what's interesting is when we get a little more customized, this is also a chain. Correct me if I'm wrong. La Fogata is in several different areas? Family owned, but there's several locations. Okay, there we go. So family owned. Yeah.
My mom worked as a waitress there for 32 years.
Oh my goodness. Irene's mom worked as a waitress for 32 years.
Wow.
That is so cool. One of my favorite jobs in college was a waitress. So it's interesting that this location has a lot of Spanish words, and it really does not cater to exactly what am I eating, right? It even has, a big celebration look. It talks about margaritas. So this is a celebration place. And I think the other restaurants are as well, but they try to give you that extra information. This place makes no bones about it. They're not going to tell you what's in it. It's, you go there for fun and you don't think about what you're eating, I suppose. But what I thought we would do is we're going to look at this one last. And what I thought we would do is kind of design what we're going to order and see what the nutrition facts label gives us for the information. Because, so often we want to be able to go eat out. And sometimes we're in the mind of, well, I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to take home leftovers, right? We kind of decide in our mind. And I think that's fair. When we think of our best foods list, we oftentimes, use portion is key, the company the food keeps, the way that it's cooked. So those things help us even in deciding what we're going to order at a restaurant. So I thought it might be fun to see how those tools will help us even in this setting. So if we start with the Cheesecake Factory, the first place I'm going to go is the View All Categories. So at the Cheesecake Factory, as you may know, anybody ever been there? Yeah, everybody except maybe one or two. Okay, so wide menu, right? I remember thinking, gosh, it's a huge menu. And I even love the fact that they call them glam burgers. That's hilarious, right? And of course, sandwiches, and then Skinnylicious. And then up a little higher, small plates, snacks and appetizers, salads, flatbreads, lunches. So they give you a really good category, and they definitely are trying to help you kind of distinguish between maybe some lower calorie options, right? So where should we start? Anybody? Where should we start our menu selection? Do you want to go with a glam burger or Skinnylicious or salads? Skinnylicious? All right, let's do Skinnylicious. So when we go to this section, it gives us appetizers and small plates. We get salads and we get specialties. So what do we know so far about salads? Can we be misled sometimes about salads? Where are some of the trouble spots when we... Dressing. Yeah, what else? Cheese. You got it. What else?
They put fried meat or something.
Yeah, bacon, croutons. You got it. Right. And they might sometimes put nuts even on a salad, right? Which will really quickly bump up the calories and the fat grams. So we kind of know that. But let's see what they can come up with. So let's do a Skinnylicious salad. So then when we go to this selection, we get a tossed green, we get an Asian chicken salad, a factory chopped salad, and then a Mexican tortilla salad. So let's perhaps look at the factory chopped salad. Is that okay with you? So when we go to this point, now it starts giving us calories, which I think is really cool. You had to dig a little bit. In some of the other sites, the calories are shown right away, but that's okay. Now we get to kind of narrow down. So is a 500 calorie meal good for most of us? Not too bad, yeah. If we have a 1,500 calorie a day plan, for typical women in her 50s or 60s, that's not too far off. Interesting, though, that the USDA even has between 12 and 1,500 calories for kids between the ages of 4 and 8. Is that not crazy? Doesn't that seem really high for a little kid? Yeah, so sometimes I really feel like calorie recommendations are arbitrary. They're so vague because what does it depend on? Activity level, what else? Muscle mass? Genetics, current body weight, yeah, so many things. What kind of medicines you're taking, what state of health you're in. So wide range of calories. So I don't want us to always put a lot of clout on calories. What would be the other guide? As you're eating a meal that's 500 calories, we've decided it's a good amount. What would be another guide for us to know to stop or get more food? Yeah, just visually, sure, the portion, but also your body's cue. You're full, stop, right? Sometimes we might say, well, it's 500 calories, I can eat it all. I'm full, but I'm going to eat it all. So that's what we want to avoid, right? So let's go on a little farther. So here we've got this option, a delicious blend of julienne romaine, grilled chicken, tomato, avocado, corn, bacon, blue cheese, and apple, and our Skinnylicious vinaigrette. Doesn't sound too bad, right? What do you think of the red flags? Yeah, the cheese, the bacon, avocado is fats, right? And
But it's healthy.
right. And so sometimes, though, we can still get way out of bounds, even if it's good. Even a good thing can still be too much of a good thing. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. Okay, so now we get to do some choices. How would you like to dress your salad? Would you like the dressing tossed with it, or would you like it on the side? On the side, all right. Would you like to modify your salad? Should we say no apple, no avocado, no bacon, no blue cheese, no chicken, no corn, no tomato, anything? As dressed, it's 500 calories, so should we just leave it like that, or should we take something out?
I would normally leave out bacon.
You would leave out the bacon. Anybody okay with that? Yeah? Okay, we agreed we're going to leave out the bacon of our salad. What would we like to add? Now it's giving us some added calories. So we've taken out the bacon. It doesn't really say, okay, you can minus the calories, but we have to add if we're going to add something else. So would we want to add extra avocado, 160 calories, extra chicken, 230, extra grilled shrimp, only 90? That seems really low to me, 90 calories.
They're not going to give you very much, obviously.
Yeah, they might not give you very much, right? Extra salmon. Now, just to confirm, does this salad already have protein on it? Yes, it already has chicken. So we probably don't need to add any more extra proteins, right? All right. So that's going to be our order, and it's going to give us the nutrition information. Let me go to this. Add to the cart. I know, right? And so now let's go to the fine print and see how it describes some of the things that we want to be aware of. If we didn't add any calories, we didn't add anything extra, and we took off the bacon, so now we're really at about 395 calories. And here it says in the fine print, while we're committed to providing accurate nutritional information because our recipes are prepared to order, there may be differences between the actual nutrition content of your order and the nutrition information provided. Now, are we having a lot of trust? They're saying, well, it might be wrong. That kind of makes me feel like, well, now I don't know if it's even worth it to go through all this work, right? Because it might be wrong. It also goes on to say that whenever there's different ingredients added, those foods also might vary. So the Oreo cookie, the Honey Maid, the Cinnabon, all those things come with their own nutrition variabilities, at least potential. So I thought it was really interesting that it gives us a starting point, but it doesn't really give us a lot more detail. And so sometimes it worries me that how much do we really want to trust? So one more thing I want to show you, if we go to the allergy information, it says not all ingredients are listed on the menu. Before placing your order, please contact the restaurant if a person in your party has a food allergy. So it's also saying, buy at your own risk. There might be some allergens in the food. So I feel like they've done a really good job attempting, and they do a good job helping you select, but then they hold themselves unaccountable by saying, yeah, but it might be wrong. And there might be things in there that we didn't told you about, so that kind of worries me. So let's go to Texas Roadhouse. Now, if we look back a little bit, let me go to this one. Oops, sorry. This one. Here we've got a calculator, the Nutrition IX. So this is a very integrative program that tells you how your meal adds up based on the nutrition facts panel, which I thought was pretty cool. So if we go to, let's see, I want to go back. Let me go to the beginning, and you can kind of see how this whole thing starts. Here is the beginning. So Texas Roadhouse understands the importance of providing complete and accurate nutrition information to our customers. Because every customer uses nutrition information differently, we provide two ways to view our nutrition information. So they give you these great little interactive calculators, an interactive nutrition menu, and even an allergen menu. So even before we go to that, I want you to see the menu. Let's see if I can get back. Let me go to Roadhouse. There we go. So this is the first spot that you land when you're looking at Texas Roadhouse, and it's known for its meat dishes, right? So that's why it gives you this big, beautiful picture of a ribeye. It goes down and shows you the appetizers, salads, of course, this hand-cut steaks, fall off the bone ribs, Texas-sized combos, chicken specialties, country dinners, dockside favorites, which I guess is fish. So it really tries to give you a wide range of options, and you have to scroll all the way down to see the nutrition and allergens information. But I was impressed that they have that. So that's what I clicked on in order to get to this nutrition portal. So scroll all the way down, you find the little information, and then it gets you to this spot. So now if you go to the nutrition calculator, then it lets you select from the menu what you want to see the nutrition for. So that's where you start here. And then it gives you all the items on the menu. So the starters, the salads, the steaks, chicken specialties, and so on. And then it allows you to customize, and then it changes the nutrition facts based on your customization, which, as we saw when we were at the Cheesecake Factory, it shows you a little bit, but it doesn't really put it in black and white for you like this one does with the nutrition facts label. So I thought that was kind of cool. So again, let's try a salad. And on this one, I think we might even try 2 different things. But let's start with a salad. And so then we're going to select an item. What kind of salad do we want to try? I was thinking maybe we would try a grilled salmon salad. For all of us in this room, we're astute nutrition experts, and we know that salmon is a healthy fish, right? And grilled, that means it's good because it hasn't been doused in a sauce, right? We hope. And so let's see how this one measures up. So right away when we click on that, it fills up the nutrition facts label. So let's peruse that for just a minute. In one order, in one serving of this salad, it's 830 calories. Does that surprise you? It surprises me. Wow. And normally they're pretty skimpy on the amount of salmon they give you. Here at Powerhouse, we've been doing a teriyaki salmon salad, and I always get this really beautiful cut of salmon, and I cut out after it's cooked 4.5 ounces, and try to eye it, make sure it looks really generous. And sometimes when I go to these places, I feel like, oh, it's so puny. Now, according to the protein in this salad, 66 grams of protein. Does that sound like a lot? It does, right? So 7 times 6, 42. So it's suggesting that it's having at least a 6-ounce serving or more of salmon. I find that hard to believe. I don't think they're going to give you a 6-ounce serving. So it makes me wonder what else is in the salad that's going to give us protein. We don't really have a good picture of it, but let's go through the customize and see if we can find where else protein is coming from. Because 66 grams, again, is a lot. If we go back to our nutrition knowledge, how much protein do we need in a day? Yeah, about 60 to 80, perhaps. I mean, you maybe go up a little higher, maybe to 90. So that would be all the protein you need in the day. And carbohydrates, 19. That seems pretty low. That would make me think, okay, there's probably just greens in that salad. Right? There probably isn't any beans. There probably isn't any complex carbs. Okay, so it's probably just greens. And then when we look at the sodium, 1,300 milligrams of sodium. Does that seem like a lot? So let's try to put this into context. If we were a heart patient and we were at, Methodist Hospital, and our doctor said, you need to follow a low sodium diet. And what would that be? Well, that's actually, there's 2 levels. A low sodium diet is 4 grams a day. A very low sodium is 2 grams a day. And this particular salad is giving you 13 milligrams or 1.3 grams. So that's almost your whole dose of salt for the day if you're on a very low sodium diet. So when you put it like that, it's like, well, okay, should I worry about that? Does that seem like a lot? It is still high for one meal, especially when we put it in context for the amount of calories and, of course, the amount of fat and protein. But it's pretty typical, that sodium content, and it's probably lower than, what else do you think? If we looked at that Texas Roadhouse menu, what do you think would be really high in sodium?
Caesar salad.
Yes, that's very good. Yes, ma'am. Let's even look at that. So if we go to salads and we pick the type and we go to that Caesar,
Oh my goodness.
Caesar salad gives us about the same, 1,070. I would have thought it would have been more. So that tells us that probably most of the sodium is probably coming from the salad dressing, right? Who knows? Here, this one, again, it's a chicken Caesar rather than a salmon. The numbers are not that far off. But isn't it amazing that a chicken salad has almost 90 grams of fat? Wow.
How big does it? How do you calculate how big the salad is, though?
Well,
It says one order, but I've seen salads that come out that
right.
I can get easily 2 meals out of it.
Yes, you can easily get 2 meals out of that salad. Well, for sure. And so that's where, I kind of go back to our idea that our best foods list, one of the biggest criteria that really make it the best foods is portion. So we could eat this and we could spread it out into 2 or 3 meals and, it not be horrible. I mean, when you're thinking about it, 60 grams of protein and carbohydrates are 20. This is a very high protein salad. So in my book, I would probably want to break it up and add some complex carbs to it. And, heck, I could get several meals out of it. So I love your point. I mean, that's the way smart consumers are going to do this. Especially if it's a special event and you want to go out with people and you want to, order as smart as you can, but then eat on it a little as you go. So back to that grilled salmon salad. Again, we went down like 30 grams of fat. We went from salmon, which is a